Hello world, come on in. I don't know how this is gonna be. I'm Calvin. Hello. This is for everybody, so come on in. Like whatever color you are, you're gonna have a chair here. There is a seat for everybody at the table today. If you're Chinese, there's a place for you. If you're a man, there's a place for you. If you're a 14-year-old genius that is at the top of your chess league and you are so alone because nobody understands how painful it is to be a chess champion and be under all that stress, this place is for you. If you are a fucking 12-year-old that just got her period, this is for you. If you are 75 years old, if your mother's about to die, if you just got married, if you just got divorced, everybody, this is the place. This is the one fucking video on the internet right now that we need to get everybody in the same fucking book. Okay? That's what this is. By the way, I'm Calvin. You might be like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm not an expert. Okay? Let's start off here. I'm your little brother. That's the relationship here. I'm your little brother. We're all on this rock that we call Earth, hurling through space. There's about 8 billion of us. We're getting more and more connected, but sometimes it feels like we're being disconnected. But one way or another, we're meeting each other. We're even able to communicate and translate like we're doing right now, most likely on any sort of technology that you can translate what people are saying. So we're learning about other cousins, extended cousins, different people. We're bumping into each other. We got different stories. Hi, I'm that guy. I'm also a fundamentalist Mormon. I have a lot of siblings. We're not going to get into that today. My only thing, though, is we need to have a place that is not Joe Rogan. I'm sorry. I love you, bro. We need a place that everybody can sit at the table, and let this be the fucking beginning of that. So we're going to have a conversation about what I think is the most important thing in the world right now. This is kind of crazy to say, but things are fucking insane for a second. And let's just take a breath. Like, here's my goal. My goal by the end of this episode is that we all have at least just one thing. One. Just one. And just maybe a maybe that we can all agree with. That we can all agree with. Can I tell you what I want it to be? Can everybody agree on this? What's he going to say? Something about Trump, the Epstein list, like the fuck Israel, America. Man, what am I? Can we all agree that things are kind of shit? Can we agree on that? Can we agree at least? Let's not even talk about what's making things shit. Can we agree? Anybody listening to this, that it's a little unsatisfactory, that there's something in society and culture that's a little bit off, just kind of. Like, we don't need to get into the deep shit. Can we just agree? It's like, yeah, this is unsatisfactory. This is shit for you, right? You, yeah, this is kind of shitty. Like, can we agree? Like, on some level, it's shitty. There's not a fucking person, whether you're a billionaire or you're in the Amazon rainforest right now trying to get bananas from people with clothes on, and you're like, what the fuck? These guys wear clothes. That's strange. Whatever human you are, can we agree that we think there can be better things? There can be a better tomorrow than today. Let's start there. Can we at least start there? Things can be better. And I bet if we just took a beat, one beat, you would at least hear somebody that you don't even fucking agree with say, if we do it right, I bet we can. If we do it right, I bet we can. You're going to hear all the other ones too, like, it's too late, the world's going to end, this is what was prophesied, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's going to be there. But there's a group of people that say, and I believe it can be good. I can be better than this. Like, it's not over. There's a way. all of those people, you know what you are? You're the fucking misfits. You're the misfits. We need to get the misfits together. Y'all are the misfits. Everybody else is fucking in the stands. They're negative as fuck. They're saying, this is over. We got to tear down the whole thing. I'm not even saying, guys, don't do that. Keep on doing that. Keep doing it on your Twitter pages. I'm talking to everybody. One thing I forgot to say. I did not want to imply that I was not going to offend anybody here. In fact, here's my aim. Right up front, my aim is there's not a single person that watches this by the end that is not offended about something I've said. I want to spread that everywhere. I have things to say to women. I have things to say to men. I have things to say to trans people. I have things to say if you're Israel, Palestinian, if you're the fucking president of the United States. Hello, Donald Trump. Elon Musk. No, genuinely. I got something. Eric Weinstein, Tim Ferriss, Logan Paul, Oprah Winfrey, my sister Catherine, my sister Eva, my other siblings, my other religious people, my atheists. I want to offend every motherfucker, and maybe even myself. Just doing this is my embarrassment. This could get me more than cancels. Who knows? Because I'm trying to cancel everybody. Like this is not safe. I get it's not safe, but I'm just done because I need to not. Here's what I've come to the conclusion of. I would rather fucking die. I would rather be dead than living in bullshit the rest of my life. Lying and just being alive, but lying all the time. And saying I don't think a thing. I've lived that life. I'm done. It's all over. And it's happening for good reasons. Some people don't want to offend others. Some people want to be seen as like, no, I'm really for these people. I'm not that. Some people are like, you know what? Fuck all of this. We just need to burn it all down. Like everybody has a viewpoint. If I've spent 15 minutes with a human being, that's all. Not a day, not 2 weeks, not a month, not 15 years, 15 minutes. I've learned something. Everybody is different. Everybody is unique. Everybody has a slightly different perspective. And when I'm hearing perspectives that are the fucking same, you know what that is? Dogma. It's being born. Nobody's actually fully in charge. It just happens. Nobody wants to call it out. Nobody wants to be the out person. Nobody wants to be the fucking misfit. Nobody wants to be honest. Nobody wants to be seen as the other side. Nobody wants to be ostracized. Nobody wants to be fucking looked as a bigot. Nobody wants to fucking look at like, I'm going to be canceled. Bad's going to happen to me. No, I want to be a crusader for what is true and what the planet is and what animals are. I want to be good. I want to be seen as good. I want to genuinely do good. I want to be honest. I want to stand for something. I don't want to be bored. Everybody has this. Everybody. If you are a man, if you are a woman, if you are 14, 44, if you live in fucking Gaza, if you live in Salt Lake fucking City, if you live in the Amazon, you have this. Now let's take a beat. Whew. What's my point? My point is that we are valid, and we are one perspective. And life is multivariant. There isn't just one perspective. Your perspective matters, and it needs to be said. And when things are true, here is the unlock. When something's true, it, by definition, does not ever take away somebody else's honesty. Ever. If what you're saying is actually true, two truths will never contradict each other. They don't. They work together. They're in alignment. As long as it's fucking honest, no matter how sharp That itself is generous, and you can build from it. So if you see someone that is using a truth to tear down another truth, somebody's bullshitting. The only way we're going to move forward is we have to first fucking recognize that things are complicated. I'm not even saying we're going to agree on things yet, but can we agree that there is a way that you view life that is different than... Dude, I grew up in a family with a lot of siblings. My view is different from somebody that lived right next to me in the same bedroom, the same age, hanging out with the same people, completely different perspectives. This was all of my siblings. All of it was varied. Let alone somebody in the next house, or the next neighborhood, or the next fucking country, or the next gender. Why are we acting like that? We know. We don't. You don't. I don't. The best thing to land on is we aren't sure. Can we start there? Even the things that we hold true, that we want to be true, deep down, we're not completely certain. That's all I'm saying. There's something there. The only way to move forward with anything is you have to start from fucking truth. Because if you don't, what you're really doing is you're bending... What is speaking? It's trying to describe accurately what you're saying reality is to somebody else. It's a generous thing. You're saying, you see it this way, and I'm going to add it this way. It's generous. But you want to know what's really fucked up? When you are doing something on the front of generosity, and it is the exact opposite, and actually taking somebody else's perspective, you crafting, trying to get them to think about it as a certain way. They're likely to think about it this way, so I'm going to craft it this way so I get this result. That's bullshit. We can't speak for everybody. We can't speak for our neighbor. We can't speak for our sibling. We can't speak for our spouse. We can't speak for our twin. We can't speak for anybody but ourselves. This isn't new agey bullshit. This is just fucking... You are a unique perspective. So things are complicated. Can we all start there? That it's not perfect, but here is... So what do we do? Am I like, hey... Great, life is, this is why war is happening. What can we do? There's nothing that can happen. But what's your point? Here's my fucking point. We have to have something that we all point to that doesn't take from anybody, that isn't making somebody feel less than, that isn't putting somebody above another. We need those things. And guess what? We have it. We've forgotten it. Can we get back to this? This is what I wanted everybody here. Now, this might look like this is an American thing, but America is just one of the most recent fucking experiments in the human condition, and it fucking should have some things learned from the previous generations. Like, all of them should be honored. It's just one of the latest. And so we're looking at it as cutting fucking edge, and it's either going to be complete bullshit or maybe there's something to it. That's what we're going to examine. And one of those things is this. We came up with basic, simple, fundamental, but powerful, unalienable rights. There's only 3. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Every motherfucker. If you don't like swearing, I swear. So I hope you can see that there's some difference there, that's just something that in my culture I do. For me, it's like, I know this could offend you, but it's what I genuinely feel, so I'm going to risk saying it. You can be offended. It's right there. I know you can choose against it. I know you can sling mud at me. You can say he's an unserious thinker. He curses. You don't think... I'm willing to do it because it's like, yo, I got shit too. I know my shit stinks. I know I'm not perfect, but I'm willing to offend by saying I also am willing to be honest. Like, that's what I want. Even if I can be argued against as... if I'm being honest, here's one thing I can fucking say. And I would rather this than anything. And that is, I want to be honest. I want things to see things that are true. I want to see reality for what it truly is, genuinely. Why? Not because we can't move forward otherwise. We started here by getting baseline. We all spawn here like we're figuring out what is this thing called reality. And the thing that we all know is that if you don't have a connection to it, that's death. That's death. You're gone. You don't transcend nature by taking a rocket and going to the moon. That was an idea, that second part of like, oh, we're really good. Yeah, but guess what? We didn't beat nature any more than we, instead of crashing into the ocean wave, we got a surfboard. But thank God for the wave to allow the surfboard thing to happen. You're working with nature to create rocket ships. We're not fucking better than nature. We're connected to it. And that idea of us transcending it has led to so much horse shit the last several decades. I'm not going to get into it right now, but the only thing I'm going to say is from one person that grew up in an environment that was so culty, and I left it because I couldn't stand it anymore. And I went to some spaces where I could be authentic, and I was like, thank God this exists. And then I went to regular life, not my cult, not this beautiful space and containment, but regular life, and see, oh, this is fucking everywhere. This is everywhere. Cultiness is not for cults only. Cultiness, you have it. You're in one. Everybody has. The reason we watch them is because it makes us feel good. We're really good as humans. Like, this isn't. John Vervaeke talks about this. Hello, John Vervaeke. I hope you're here. But like, you do not have a good, clear perspective on just yourself. We're really bad at it. We're really good at seeing it on other people. We're really good at like picking out what's actually true. And so if you want to know your movement in reality and effectiveness and actually being able to do something positive, you must recognize that your own viewpoint is at the very best delusion. And if you're in delusion, you can be blue-pilled and say, yeah, I know I'm in delusion. I know there isn't really a stake here, but I'm going to live that way. I choose to live that way. But at least know that. The other side of this is we, to get some level of reality, have to. I'm sorry, just like you can't go against the fucking ocean. You have to realize, oh, it's going this way. I can get a surfboard. There are forces that we're going up against, and it's forces of nature. We got religion, and I know religion has transcended nature. Kind of. Stupid idea. I'm going to offend religious people. I'm also going to offend science people, so we'll all get offended here. But the one thing I just want to say, no one yet, from Einstein to Hitler, should I not have those people in the same sentence, to the state of Israel, to America, to black people, white people, brown people, Canadians, Chinese, Aboriginals, Indians, nobody, no human yet, here in going into February 2026, no human alive in the history of humans yet, of the billions have existed and all died, has been able to answer, what the fuck's the point of all this? And have a true answer that fits everybody. You think you have the answer. I didn't say that. Everybody has their answer. But you haven't found something that's like, we all fucking agree on this. Can we find some? What are they? Here's a few that I'm going to put it on, and they can all be attacked. But here's the few that I think rights. By the way, we have a wrong definition of what we think rights are. So I told you in America, right to life, right to liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And all those have nuance. But can we just start with life? Do you agree that you have the right to be alive, for fuck's sakes? Are you going to disagree with that? Do you really think that you don't get to be alive? Do you really think that somebody else should get to decide whether you are alive or not? Do you really think that about yourself? Notice what I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about to the neighbors right now. What the fuck do you think about yourself? Do you really think that you don't get to be the one to decide what happens for you? Do you really think, like, yeah, I mean, if I do this? No. Nobody gets to make the decision for your life, whether you are alive or not, as a general rule. You get to be here. Everybody that's here gets to be here. We're all at the fucking table. We all got spawned here. We're here. We're here. Nobody makes the decision for us. We all get to have the right to be alive if that's our fucking choice. And here's the thing that I want to say about rights. Rights are not obligations. They're agreements. They're a special kind of agreement, though. It's not just, oh, you are going to give me this service, I'm going to give you this money. That's an agreement. No. It's different. It's an agreement that where this and this together gives us both something that is better than we would have gotten, not just independently, that with an infinite number of me's couldn't have achieved otherwise, but one little connection together, we both get it. And what is that here? Well, if you have the agreement that you're not, there's an infinite possibility. It's literally endless. It's literally endless. So if it was win or lose, like if you were like, okay, who gets to live, who gets to die? And maybe you're like, okay, if there's, and you could categorize this in any way. You can play all the variations you want. Okay, all the men get to die. Okay, but then you think it through and you're like, oh shit, we kind of need men. Okay, we can't kill all the men because that will ultimately kill all the women too. Fuck. And then you're like, okay, well, if there's ever a dispute, we should kill all the women. Oh, fuck. Men can't just fuck each other. They can, but they're going to die eventually too. Oh, that's strange. Interesting. And so the computer program goes, what do you do? Oh, both of those people live. Oh, great. And then what happens? Well, they fuck and new people come. It's like, whoa, where does that leave? It's fucking endless. So 1 + 1 could equal fucking infinity. Just be finding that part of the program. That's one thing we know. I'm going to use computer lingo. I hope somebody can translate what I mean. But this is what humans do. They try things and then figure out this is infinitely better. Okay. We are in that phase right now. There are a lot of loose ends, and we need the fucking misfits. Who are the misfits? The misfits are the people that are insane because they're willing to say what they actually think. Those are the misfits. We need people to stand the fuck up and say, this is what I'm actually saying. I'm sorry, Barbara, but this is unreasonable to me because of this reason. I'm sorry, George. I'm leaving because of this reason. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm staying married to him for this reason. I'm sorry, child. I'm doing this because of this reason. And being fucking honest with what you actually want, what you actually see, what you really believe. We need misfits. We don't need fucking everybody. Like we know. We know. People are like literally going to be killed for saying what they think. It's the only way. When lies take hold, it will eventually take everybody down. It's the only way. And this is one of those things where we know what the downside is somewhat limited because once it's at zero, it's a zero. But we also fucking know that going for saying what you actually think could quite literally end it for you. If you stand on what is actually true, if you stand what is actually honest, you have a chance at what? Infinite. So much better than you couldn't possibly ever imagine. The life is infinite. But here's the only thing. There's only one way to move forward. And what I'm about to say, it's going to be hard to hear. If you're a woman, if you're a man, if you're a child, if you're a grandma, if you're a president, if you're a plumber, if you're a teacher, if you're a doctor, if you just got fired for AI, if you're in your first job as a barber, if you accidentally cut somebody and had to go to the hospital, if you fucking sold drugs tonight, if you're black, if you're trans, if you're they, if you're them, if you whatever the fuck you are as a human being, two things: you matter. That's point one. You matter. Your perspective matters. Your experience matters. If you're a billionaire, hey everybody, yeah, I mean this. I'm not talking to you, but listen. If you're a billionaire, you matter. What you feel matters. What you see at your level is valuable. What you bring is underappreciated. What you've done is invisible. Anything else you do, discounted. And for what? For who? What went wrong? What's the more compassionate thing? This is not about billionaires. If you're a woman, you matter, obviously. None of us are here without you. Some people say, well, they couldn't have had their kids. Yeah, but guys, how much did we need to start that process? And if we're still here alive enough to fucking watch a video in our hands where we have access to the world of information and the perspectives of everybody in this digital room right now, if we choose it, it's insane. Everybody matters. And they all have a part to play, and they play it, and there are things that they play that we couldn't even fucking imagine. We have a lot of work to do. As a humanity, we can do it. That might sound insane, but as a fucking misfit, what's the alternative? Going backwards and saying, no, let's go this way. No, I would rather die than just be swallowed eventually by bullshit anyway. We need more people saying what they really fucking think, because none of us can figure this out on our own. Conversation, honest conversation, honest dialogue, honest questions, true curiosity from children, from 45-year-olds at whatever age. You're never too old to be curious. You're never too old. You can wonder what death is going to feel like. You can wonder what it feels like when your heart stops. You can notice, what am I thinking about right now in my last few breaths? Why am I thinking about when I was 7, taking that lollipop, or like these other bad things I did? Am I good? I don't know. Well, this is it. I'm letting go. What does that do? What does that feel like? What am I seeing? What am I dreaming? You can be curious about anything. It's the only way for us to get a higher resolution of what's actually going on, of what reality is and how we need to move forward. Because here's what I'm saying. This was not to say, oh, here's the answer. But the thing that I think we can all agree on is we are not completely satisfied with how reality is. Like, And that's not to say you don't want to live in the moment and you don't want to listen to music and dance, but we all feel somewhere in the world somehow it could be a little less shitty, a little less suffering. Life would be better with a little bit less suffering, with a little bit less 6-year-olds dying. I think we could come to that. Now, there's going to be people that say, no, nuke the whole thing. I'm not saying that there aren't people that think that. What I'm saying is there are a few people that, probably a lot, that where this isn't satisfactory. And there's going to be another people from that group that think tomorrow can be better. And you have to think that because, and it's not out of naivete. It should be like, oh, it's looking ahead and being like, wait, here's my goal and we can do that tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow can be better. It's like you thought it out. Like you're on a long road trip. You've been out of your warm bed for a week. Tomorrow's the day. Like it's okay to say tomorrow's going to be better than today. Like I'm going to be in my warm bed. I have something to look forward to. We need people that are willing to do two things. Say what that is. Say what we honestly are looking forward to. Maybe we call you or maybe it's a feature of the Misfits too. I don't fucking know. We need people that are looking ahead honestly, and we need people expressing honestly. I'm not even saying we have this whole accountability thing down. Like we don't need enough people like, I'm holding you accountable. Fuck that. You do not have moral authority to hold anybody accountable to fucking anything unless you held yourself accountable for the thing that matters to you most. You do not have the moral authority to hold anybody accountable to anything unless you have held yourself accountable to the thing that matters to you most. What matters to you most? Have you ever had to fight for it? Did you ever feel that it was a threat? You have no idea. What's my point? There's so much behavior that we're just condemning because we're looking at it from our limited perspective. We're not imagining, wait, in what way could their most important thing be at threat here? We all have more important things, surprisingly. For some, it's life. For others, it's dignity. For others, it's honesty. For others, it's authenticity. For others, it's expression. It's art. It's God. It's peace. It's adventure. We all have different things that we say, hey, eventually whatever matters to you in life, your life will be below it. Like that's when you're living the best life. When you're like, oh, I found the things that really matter to me and they're all more important to me than my own life. That's when you're living honestly. And so for me, like love. Yeah. Real, true love. If I got to experience that, but I had to give my life for it, yeah, I'd make the trade. Even if it was for like a year. Yeah. My kids, what's best for them? Yeah. Ending conflict. Yes. Writing something that was honest. Even if it's one fucking email or one Twitter post. Yes. One truth. If we can remember one truth from one human, what a gift. I don't know what that is for me, but I want it. I don't know what it is. Like, I really don't, but here's one thing I'll say. If you're here, you get to be. Whatever here means. You deserve life. You get to be on this planet at this time period. You have some mattering. That is step one that I think we all need to agree with. And then step two. Life, of course, could be a little better. and we're all part of it. And I'm not here to point fingers or blame, but the one thing I have to say is the only reason we say anything or move any direction is for something, for some aim. And your aim determines your actions. And if we're aiming to like do something that isn't lasting, which could be something for image or status, it's not that image or status are wrong things. It just might not last and actually build on, because the only thing that can build is if it is true, if it is real. And so we need people that are willing to say, this thing that I'm seeing is in a direct hit against what is supposed to be heard, what is supposed to be, what everybody else is agreeing to. Like, me saying this looks like suicide. It looks like going against the ocean. That's what it looks like. That's insane. We need those people. I want to be one of those people. I want to be one of the people. I want to be, again, I've thought about this with myself. Growing up fundamentalist Mormon and coming to what felt true to me is that it was wrong. And I don't mean to offend people that I grew up with, but be offended if you're supposed to be offended. That's just what I really honestly believe, is that it's bullshit, man-made, and there's a lot of reasons for it. And the fucking proof is on you, buddy, to tell me that a human being saw the actual Jesus and God, and all the fucking explanations have felt very man-made and nothing deeply true except trying to twist people's arm and shame and everything else to get them to believe that one fucking assumption. Because if you can get them to believe that, then you can believe the whole Mormon thing. All that. We're all here. We're all in the room. And we need to be able to say what we're actually seeing. Otherwise, we're just acting on what isn't true. And if we're acting on what's not true, then we can't adjust. We can't do things that are real. So we need people that are able to say, this is insane. Okay. Can we agree that, okay, one final thing I want to say about rights, because we need to look at rights. This is my one idea that people feel free to argue against, philosophers, but I think the role I want to bring is I want to bring a couple of things. First of all, I never want to be having some side win and another side lose. That's not the way my brain is wired at this point. This might sound insane, but if there's ever a conflict between humans, I believe there can be a solution that is better than both of them can possibly imagine, because the gridlock is at a level that is causing the blindness, and at the level that would cover both of their needs is above it, but they have to take a breath. That is the one thing that I hope we all can fucking do for whenever you're watching this. If at any point, if this is your moment, you just take a breath in. Take a breath out. And that was your first fucking slowdown in a long goddamn time. You need to do that a little more often. Because the truth is, there's a lot of people watching this that are out on the internet that you are fighting with that are very selfless. They're trying to do the right thing. They put in sacrifices that you have no idea about to do good for people. You have no idea. And when something comes their way that cuts them deep, when it feels so in contradiction to what they know to be true, it's destabilizing. So, for a hot second. I hope we could all just take a breath and let that drop for just a half a second. We can go back right after this, whenever this is over, but let's take a breath for ourselves, because here's the other thing that I think we can all agree on. There is, I don't care where you are in the world, I do care where you are in the world, but I think if you're listening to this, if it's a translation, if it's AI, whatever the fuck you are, and I hope you can bleep out the fuck bombs because I say it, but your culture might. I hope you can still hear me when I say this. There can be less suffering in the world than there is. And I think that's a great goal. There can be less suffering than there is. And if we can reduce it even a little, it is better for everyone. It is better for everyone. And the opposite is also true. On some level, we are all, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you're a human. I'm talking to the humans. I'm not talking to the fucking AI. I'm talking to you. We're human, okay? We're from the same thing. Some of us might have fucking different genes. Some of us might have 2% Neanderthal. I think that's me, according to 23andMe or whatever the fuck it's called. But we're all human. And none of us, I'll speak for myself. The thing that I've learned more than anything is the safest bet ever to cash out on Kalshi or whatever your betting platform is. The best bet is your view of reality that you by necessity need right now isn't 100%. That's it. That's your generosity to the world. By saying your view of reality is not quite 100%. Because if you can do that, then you're giving people some grace. But that's actually not my big main point. My big main point is this. I know there are so many people watching this all over the world, on all sides, that actually give a fuck, that care, that want to do good, that can't stand the suffering that they're seeing. It makes them furious. They know in their bones it's wrong. Moral clarity is not a question. It's so obvious. It's not just kind of clear. It's obviously clear. It's obviously clear. And we are not hearing it. And there's a reason we're not. It's in our best interest to ignore it, we think. It's not good. People, statesmen, countries, even those people matter. It's an impossible fucking job. And they're human. And what are we going to do? And what if the other side wins? And what's going to be the best for everybody? What's going to be socialism? And is that okay? Or fuck, what if this destroys it or that destroys it? The thing we have to at least come to is life is, there are parts of it that we don't understand and we don't see. That seems pretty basic, but it has to start there because each one of us has a perspective, has a puzzle piece, but we can't even get it together, not even with AI, unless it's true. And so we need a few people to start speaking fucking honestly. And I want to be one of those people. Like, I don't want you to agree with me. Like, I've really thought about this. I'm not going to do all of them here, but there are things I'm seeing in culture that I know are a direct hit that I'm like, fuck, I don't want to be seen as a bad person with this group of people or that. Like, I want to be, like, again, who am I? I'm not an expert. I'm not better. I'm a fucking human. I'm just like your little brother. What's a little brother? Like, I mean, hopefully that you don't want to kill them. Hopefully you'd want to keep them around. You don't trust them fully because they're not fully inexperienced. But hopefully there's something that you're like, but this person is at least going to have my back and wants the best for me, is looking up to me, is inspired by me, and is going to still say what is true, poke. Like, there's something there. And the thing I can say is, again, I want honesty. I think it's our only shot. I hope I'm fucking being honest. I hope I'm not just doing this for bullshit. I hope this is actually going to help. But genuinely, on my life, I don't want to live in a world that is dishonest for a long time. I don't want that life. I would rather die than live in a world where I can't say what I actually see and say what I actually feel. And that expressing a truth cannot be expressed. Great. Because when you kill it, when you kill me, maybe people will pay attention to what I said. I want to be here till I'm 120 minimum. And if Brian Johnson does his thing, if Brian Johnson, God, was that a Freudian sleep? Is Brian Johnson going to be like, to live longer, I'm going to have to be trans? I don't know. Maybe that does it. Life is going to get interesting. But deep down, I fucking love humans. The things we've done, it's insane. I know people have big hearts. When I've talked to people, I know people want to do right more than they want to do wrong. I know they can't stand not just the discomfort, but the genuine destruction. I get that. And we all want to live a little bit better tomorrow than we are today. And we want what's better for our kids generally. There's a lot of things that I think we can align on. And I hope that, like, my crazy, lofty, whatever this is something that we can all start with and saying, okay, maybe we can find something that we all agree in. And here's the final thing I didn't wrap with yet with rights. A right, where does it come from? Unalienable rights from God, whatever. Okay, fine. But even if it came from God or it came from nature, how is it maintained? There's only one possible way. Trust. That's it. And why would we do it? We do it because we feel like it is so good for us that it is worth the risk. And we also feel like they would want the same thing too, so it's worth the trust. Life. I want to stay alive. I will fight to keep you alive. I hope you'll trust that. Because I don't want to live in a world where I have to look over my shoulder to stay alive. I want to live in a world where I can relax, where I can look forward to see someone, that I can have a barbecue and know that this is the best it ever gets. Then just live another day without, like, goddamn fuck that. I don't want to live in that world. I want all of us to be like all of us. Let there be space for every fucking one of us. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that you have to lose, because sometimes we're so locked that we're like, there's only one way out. They have to go. We haven't seen it yet. We have no idea. The conversation hasn't started anywhere in any conflict that's gridlocked. It can't be seen there. We have to take a fucking breath. And wherever the conflicts are, we need people. We need misfits. We need people, brave men and women that actually give a fuck about life and about the future and about our kids and about the legacy of who we are and care about humans generally, to actually be there for those people in conflict and be able to support them and be able to see them as a human being, both sides. Because both sides have suffering. Every human being, if it is suffering, it must be seen and heard and felt. And if there's suffering in the world, and we all see it, can we agree that at the very minimum, we don't want to make it worse? Can we start there? Can we start there? Can we start? Some people, I know that's hard to say. It's like, no, I'm in so much pain. I want to, like, tear it all down. It's a dark thing to say, but it's a true thing. So I'm going to say it. As shitty as things are, you have no idea how bad it can get. The only chance we have is, number one, being honest with what we see, and number two, being willing to listen to some perspective that is at least slightly different than ours. Otherwise, we don't know where we are. We have no chance. We have no shot. We don't know. I also really believe in us. I'm not one of those people that is anti-women and men and white people and black people and generations and technology even. I'm not that. Life is too complicated. It's like getting, like, have you ever played poker? Maybe you haven't, but you have a hand and you don't, some games you don't know, you have no idea if it's a good hand or not. You don't know what's possible. And life is so complicated. We have a certain circumstance and we're like, this is horrible. How absurd of a thought or a claim that you somehow have all of it figured out enough that something can be called good or bad. You are a fucking human being if you think that. Everybody thinks that. Like, that's insane. We all do it. We all think we have the answer, but the truth is, I don't. Nobody does. It's too big. It's too complicated. There are different perspectives that you can't see and you can't know. And the only reason I know that is because I have 22 sisters and I have 22 brothers. And I grew up Mormon fundamentalist. I'm a Mormon fundamentalist. And I lived in a family of 50 people. And nobody was the same. Nobody. In a family that we were all supposed to think and be the same. And maybe that was it. Maybe where there's freedom, they would be more different. Well, no. It just compounds. What happens in controlled systems is you just see the nuance more. You see the show for this is what we're supposed to do to keep the structure going, but this is my nuance. Like, I know I'm supposed to be a good priesthood man and do what I'm told, but I hate being told what to do. Don't tell me what to fucking do. I hate being told what to do. I'm a good person. This is my dad I'm talking about. He wanted to do the right thing. But don't fucking tell him what to do, goddammit. He wanted to know that it was his idea. Not that he just needed the credit for himself. He needed to know himself. And so, there's a lot of dysfunction that happened there. My only point, I'm not getting into all of this. My point is, I'm trying to be honest with who I am so that you can have an honest inference of maybe the kind of perspective that might be valuable or what you might need to contrast it with as unhelpful. And if you would share honestly what those are, it might hurt, but I want to fucking hear them too. Because I know that my perspective isn't the only fucking perspective, but this is who I am. And Am I honest? I fucking hope so, but I know I fucking want honesty, and I want honesty more than I want my life. I don't want to live in a world that is dishonest, so I'd rather speak truth and it kill me and it help things, hopefully, and I live a long time, and we all have something to move forward on. But that's what I want. And so if that's valuable to you, then this is a place for it. Like, this is what I'm going to try to do. And there's things that we're fucking up as a society, as people all over of all kinds. But I think if we start there and see what it is and we're honest about it, I think one of my other crazy beliefs that I see so much fighting where people are so close and they have no idea how close they are. And we just need to do one thing. Take a breath. Pull back. See what matters. Life. Can we start there? Your life matters. And if your life matters, this is how much life matters in America. Just in case anybody forgot. Let's wrap with this. Our grandfathers, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, America's founding, we all have ancestors that put their life on the line for what? For us to have our life and for us to have our freedom in that life. They cared about it that much. Do you want that? Of course you fucking want it. And here's the responsibility. Anything that you want as a right, which you justly get to have, we all had it gifted to us. We're here. It is also a true right, is a reciprocal responsibility. If you receive it, you give it at the same time. If you want that, you give that. That is your gift. That is your promise. And we, as a society, cared about that so much that we have laws that even after due process, the murder happened, convicted, he did it. Life in prison. In prison for life. Think of those words. In prison for life. This person did something wrong, would probably do it again, would probably be bad on society, in prison for life. And it sounds like for his life, but it's actually taking a stand. We will not. If we're condemning a behavior, we will never condemn a behavior that we have no moral authority to contend with. And we do not believe in eye for an eye. So if we're condemning death, even a murderer we will keep alive. We will give them that honor. For us, more than for them, even. For a principle. We believe in that. We believe in life. That is why you're here. That is why you are here. That is why I am here. That is why YouTube and anything that you've ever watched is here. We wouldn't be here without that. That is something that has allowed all of us to, with all the conflict and stuff like that, we ultimately came to, yeah, I want this. I'll give this. I'll fight for this. I can't imagine a life without this. Yeah, I will defend that. Life and liberty. Yes, give me freedom or give me death. Give me liberty, give me life. This is why people said this. And it's people that gifted that to us. And so we don't need to figure everything out all at once. But I think there are some of these basic things that we will start with. And what I want to do, argue in the comment section, I'm going to listen. I'm going to do what I can to listen honestly, to get ideas from people from all perspectives that I genuinely see as good and genuinely see as bullshit. I'm going to call out bullshit in women, in men, in trans people, in straight people, in religious people, in spiritual people, in myself. I want to say this is what I'm actually fucking seeing. In Joe Rogan, in Mel Robbins, in Jay Shetty, in Donald Trump. Hello. Just kidding. He's a human. Who gives a fuck? Yes, you too, Elon. This is for everybody. Billie Eilish, pull up a chair. Eminem, sit your ass down. Everybody come in. If you're a fucking 14-year-old, you need to hear what's happening. You need to know what's going on, because I'm sorry, you're only 14. It sucks, but you're alive and it's here, and we might fucking need your help too. Because there's no adults in the room. That's what we're saying. There's no adults in the room. Like, we're all trying to figure it out. Some people, like, the one thing that this is me getting on my soapbox as I wrap here, but I'm going to say it if you're here at the end. The one thing we can be, like, suspicious of is somebody's deep certainty, like, about everything. Like, nobody has it exact, and we need to be able to say what we see. We need your perspective. You matter, and we need to be able to hear things if we're going to have some future ahead. And the thing that I want is a win-win. I don't want anything that benefits me that does not benefit another fucking human. I say that with my soul. If any benefit I have for the rest of my life, I want it to be connected to. It's not because I'm motherfucking Teresa or Gandhi. It's just, then I won't have any guilt. Like, that just sounds like an adventure. Like, I like helping. I like saying things that are true. I like being able to call it out. I know it's a risk, so maybe that's an adventure to me. But I'm willing to do it because deep down, it's the only thing I want. I only want what is real. I don't want a fairy tale fake life of love and fluff. It's Wayman, New York fucking city instead of LA. I would rather somebody say, get out of my way, I'm walking here, you're a piece of shit, something. I want truth, not whatever is in Utah. Yeah, you thought I was going to say LA, but Utah, Mormons don't trust each other, and it's because they've been fucking lying to each other for their entire time that they're alive, and so they're a little bit suspicious of each other. It's just something I'm noticing. Anyway, we got things to figure out, but I hope we can let this be the starting place of, challenge. I was going to end on a challenge. Here's the challenge. We all want to end a little bit of suffering, right? Okay. A big conversation that has been had by humans already is how much of your life is your fault, your responsibility, blah, blah, blah. What can you do? And there's a lot of ideas. And we tend to think of it as black and white. Like, it's all my responsibility. It's none of it. It's somebody else's fault. This is what I think humanity, if you look at any of our ancestors that have got us here, any one of them, every one of them got to this place where they took some level of ownership of something, some level of ownership of something, like responsibility of some kind, like by definition, whether they were forced on it, whatever. They took it on. They're like, this is for me to do. Because if they didn't, you can't act. You can't move. You're like, this is my thing to do. Somebody's making me do it, but I decided to let them do it to me instead of try to escape, or this is my thing I'm taking accountability for. We need people that are willing to say that. We need people to say, this is how I've been playing the game of life, honestly. This is what I think is good, what is bad, what is true. We need that. But the other thing I want to come to is, of all the things that we don't have control over, and there's a lot, some people say, I'm 100% David Goggins. Hello, David. You'd say, I'm 100% in charge of my life. Like, it's only you. Grant Cardone, you little fraudster. Gary V, Alex Hermosi, Tony Robbins, all of us. Chris Weatherstone, football player, Tom Brady. Let's all sit down and realize, and if you're black, and if you're Chinese, and if you're a woman, or if you're a child, if you're a baby that was just born, we have some level of effect in reality. We know that there is some level, if it's not 100%, it might be 1. A baby learns that they can cry when they're hungry or they need their diaper changed. That's a baby. You can do something. There is some level of control. So this is all I'm saying. This is what we know. We all have some level of control. And for this next day, this is all we're doing. Find one thing inside your control and focus on that. Because that, by definition, will end a little bit of suffering. Even if it's just for yourself. Because when we're inflamed and we're worried about everybody, which happens and it's good, because we're trying to do what's good for people, then you're going to get heightened. But this is going to be a long road. We need people to have their stress levels reduced a little bit. And so it will help and not hurt everybody to take a breath. So that's the challenge. The challenge is use the thing that you have, which is your ability to make some decision. And this is all you have to do. Make some decision that creates a little bit less suffering for yourself. Like a baby, they have to cry, but it's like, well, I'm hungry. And so it'll help me a little bit less suffering if I cry. Oh, I'm on the breast. Now I'm not suffering. If you're doing that with yourself, if you're tired and you've been suffering tired, sleep an extra 15 minutes. If it's eating you alive because you haven't told somebody that you've been cheating on them, say it. Say it. If you are dissatisfied in your marriage, say it. It's going to cause chaos. Life is already chaos. Try to be gentle. Say it to somebody that you trust, if you can, and say it with somebody that you think wants to play the game with you, the game of honesty. This is how we can start. Just stop letting things go when it actually matters to you, and stop not saying it because you're trying to protect somebody's feelings. And I don't say that because we shouldn't care about other people's feelings. We should, but it's way worse to make them think something that is not genuine and true. You can say, you're probably going to hate this, but I love you, and this thing I'm saying is in complete contradiction to what you're saying. I have to just say it because it's honest to me. Are you seeing it differently? Because I really care about you. I don't want to win unless you're winning. Are you winning? You're not winning? Fuck. This is what I honestly see still, so what are we doing wrong here? And figure it the fuck out. We need people to start being honest, and we need people to start taking care of the part that they can. That's what I'm saying. If you have no control, I know that's crazy, but there's some sliver of control. And if that sliver of control is ending the suffering in yourself just a little, eating extra food, taking a sip of water, collectively, we're ending suffering a little bit, and we're relaxing a little bit to make the best next move. We need everybody. Everybody deserves to be here. Maybe that's the first value we can start on, is we get to choose what we do with our life. And if we want that, then we should also offer it. It is how we have the moral authority to claim the thing that we want, is we were willing to give it. You have no right to say, this is what I want, this is what I'm entitled to, but I'm not giving it. Fuck that. The only way you can say, I deserve to live, the way I can say it is, I want to give that genuinely. Anything that I want to claim, I'm willing to give it. And I want honesty. That's the world I want to live in. And I think it could be really fucking good. I really do. I think it's going to be rocky. I think it's going to be shaky as fuck. People are going to be afraid. People are going to be scared. And I also think if we get to what's honest and what is most important, what is real in this shaky ride, we can have a little bit of an adventure, and you're going to do the thing that you actually want to do, whatever that is. Sometimes we don't even know what it is yet, but all of us can be who we want to be, who we actually want to be. And it can be so much better than we have no fucking idea, but it can't happen if we're on bullshit. The best possible thing is some semblance of what we're trying to construct in our head of what we've seen before. And even that is not going to be right, because you're going to construct something that you did not have a clear view of. And it's just something that you thought was the true thing. You don't have the nuance. It's going to be shit. It's going to create a mess. So the only thing that we can do to move forward is to say what we really think, what we really feel. And when we know somebody else is being honest, at the very least, consider what they say. You don't have to say, this is what I think and what has to be true. But you can tell when somebody's speaking from their, no, this is what I actually feel. This is what I actually see. Because it's true on multiple levels, not just in the words, but in their tone, but in the way they squint their eyes. Reality's like that. It's true on multiple levels. And when something is off, it's usually when there's a mismatch in the resonance. And so we need to get back to these basics. we can't move ahead unless we get back to the basics. And I think we can find them. That's what I say in the name of Jesus Christ, amen. Anyway, no, for real though, the challenge is to take a collective breath. For you. I know you care. I know you want less suffering. I've heard the conversations. I know some people feel like it's hopeless and we have to end it all. I know that's right too, and I know that things have been shit for a lot of people, and I also know that it can be a little bit less shit. And I believe that we all really would like to play a part that is positive if we could, and we can. We can. And for some, it's going to look so small and tiny. It's going to be the perfect puzzle piece we all needed. Okay, Misfits. Your move. Let's be honest. Let's see what happens. I'm Calvin. Follow me here. Make so I can do this for free if you want to. For free. I want to do more videos. This is what I want to do. My email is calvinwayman@gmail.com if anybody wants to partner in any way to make more messages like this. Thanks. Peace out. I love you. And if there was one message I would love to leave, curiosity, baby. Curiosity. Curiosity is it. I would say curiosity and love. Can't have curiosity without love. Curiosity is love in motion. Curiosity resolves conflict. So do you really want to resolve it? Or is there something you're benefiting from there being a conflict in the first place? There's a lot of big questions, a lot of hard conversations. Everybody's welcome. I'll be in the comments as much as I can. I'll see what I can make. I'm planning to do live events called Fire Nights where people come together of different perspectives and a safe, what the fuck is that word? A place where people can be honest and true. That's the point. So if these ideas matter to you, this is what I want to make, and if anybody thinks they can help make it, let's get in touch. Let's collab. Let's make the world a little bit better. I'm Calvin. Peace out.